My name is Marcellus Pelcher. I'm a software engineer. I primarily work with voice bots. So for me, this is like a dream come true, having the ability to work with voice. Because when I was younger, I remember seeing television, sci-fi, and seeing people, interact with computers. And I'm like, I want to build that. So, right now, I'm able to do that with the current technology.
Awesome. That's awesome. And what has you really excited about the conversation space? I know you kind of went into it, but
So what really got me excited is that this space is a little bit different from other interfaces before. So before, you had to use your hands to, communicate with the computer, and the computer communicated with you through visual elements. And this is the first interface where we are using our mouths to communicate outward and using our ears to communicate inward.
perfect. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like the first time that you really just get to like say, oh, I want to do this.
Exactly.
You're done.
Yeah, and with that, it comes with different design decisions that you have to think about,
Yeah.
because you can't not just force a VUI into a GUI. So the primitives that we had before, like tables, menus, and so forth, does not necessarily lend themselves well to the voice experience.
Right. If you're putting a table up, it doesn't work.
Exactly.
It's like this long, and everybody just says stop.
Exactly.
So, yeah, getting to the point, I think, is a big deal.
Yeah, and keeping it short and simple.
Right, right. In the next 5 years, or 1 year, 5 years, sometime in the future, what is the biggest problem with this space that you think needs to be solved?
Well, in the next year, I think monetization is huge. And also, our devices need to get a little bit better. Right now, it's more of a one-way communication where one person is speaking at a time. I would see that in the future, we'll have better invocation, experiences with our bots.
And Google and Alexa are kind of taking different stances on that, right? Google will kind of try and decide what skill you're going to interface with to a certain degree. Alexa's taking the other tact. Do you have any thoughts as to which one you think will win out? Which one kind of is better?
Yeah, my experience is that I hope the space wins. So it's not necessarily, Google, Alexa, or whatever. I'm betting on the space. So I've my career, I've taken a turn and say, hey, this is something that I really want to invest in for the future.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it'll be worth it for sure. And can you describe maybe an aha moment that really, before you were into voice, before you were kind of saw the potential of this, just a moment that was like, oh yeah, this is here now.
Yeah, basically seeing that, we can communicate with our computers. Like, this is, when I first saw the first smart speaker come out, I pressed the button to buy as soon as I didn't even have to think. And when the first smart speakers came out, I'm like, this is the new way we're going to communicate. I don't think voice is going to replace the previous interfaces, but augment it. And sometimes will run solo and be on its own. But I think it was going to be a relationship there.
I think once the crossover from like voice and maybe the screens in your house.
Yes.
I think once that crossover happens, it'll be really powerful, because
Very,
then
very
lists
powerful.
become
Yes.
available again.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So for this one is if you can't come up with anything for it, feel free. But I've gotten some pretty interesting answers from it.
Gotcha.
If you could have one question answered by your users definitively, what do you think you'd ask them?
With this space, it's hard to ask them that because it's so new and different. It's somewhat like Henry Ford says, you know, if you ask the person, you know, what they wanted, they will say a faster horse. So I think it's up to designers to show different experiences to our users, and they pick which the winners from that.